Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This is a bit of a special video because today, as of recording this video, and if you're watching it early, is the 1 year anniversary of Hyperion, the second reboot / heroic server. Release date. Exactly 1 year ago on November 15, 2023, Hyperion came out and I moved from Chronos to Hyperion and I started my progression all over again. And we've been working hard the last year. So I wanted to make this video as a way to kind of catch up on the fresh account progression series and to show you guys what we've done in 1 year of playing this game pretty much every single day. And to answer some frequently asked questions that I get all the time. Why am I even on a Hyperion? Why did I restart? Is the server dead? Should people even play on this server? Why didn't you just stay on Chronos? Do I regret it? Did I get carried? All these things will be answered in this video, so enjoy. So first of all, why did I go from Chronos to Hyperion, right? I mean, I was on Chronos before. I had my hideout there. I have Duky, I'm sure some of you might remember, my Kali as well. And, you know, I had a pretty good start. And let's just say that if I had 1 year of progress on this account, my account would be way further. I'd probably be further than where I am in Hyperion, right? So why did I choose to not continue playing on Chronos? Well, the reason why I started playing Hyperion is because of something called friends. It's because of something called friends. So back in Chronos, I had a lot of different friends. I've been playing on Chronos since it came out, actually. I've played on both servers since it came out. Original Reboot and Reboot 2, so Chronos Hyperion. I played on both since they came out. So I've been playing on Heroic World / Reboot for a very long time, since I was a teenager in high school. And now I'm an old man at 25 years old and I'm still playing on Reboot. And my friends back in Chronos, we were all at different levels of progression. Some of them were end game, some of them were mid game, some of them were super early game, like they've only done like Lomian or whatever. You know, we were all at different points of progression. And on my stream, there's a lot of different people that also watch me at different points of progression as well. So when they announced the release of the Hyperion server, we were all like, why don't we all just start playing together? We could all be in a guild together. We could all do bosses together. That way it's not like anyone's carrying each other and we'll all be at the same exact equal playing field. And we thought it'd be a really fun idea. So we moved to Hyperion, made a guild, my guild star, and the rest is history pretty much. So the reason I moved to Hyperion is because I wanted to play with my friends. The thing is though, some of them don't play anymore. Some of them went back to Chronos. Some of them quit. Some of them got banned. You know, a bunch of different reasons. But most of them are still around. And I also made new friends in the progress of moving to Hyperion as well. Some people that have been watching my stream for a long time, I only knew them as like chatters, you know, people just typing in my stream. But they moved to Hyperion with me, like Taco, for example, or Pep. And now we're much better friends and we've been progressing a whole year together and we do bosses together and all that stuff. So overall, it's been a pretty nice experience in terms of like the social aspect of the game for me. I got to play with my friends and all that stuff and it's been a good time. Now, next question is like, oh, did I get carried in Hyperion? What do you think, guys? This is a brand new server. I started playing since day one. How on earth would I have gotten carried on a brand new server? You're actually watching the dude who cleared CRA first in the whole server, by the way. Yup, the exact moment CRA was unlocked, I cleared it first in the whole server and some other bosses too, but I don't really know all of the achievements. Like, there's just guys, there's just too many. There's just too many, guys. What can I say? I'm just being a little cringe. Anyways, so let's talk about the Hyperion server, right? A lot of people will look at the two heroic worlds and be like, okay, I should obviously play on the Chronos world because there's way more people here, and I should obviously not play on Hyperion because no one plays it and it's dead, and why would I play a server that's dead? Now here's the thing. Everybody who says Hyperion is dead doesn't play on Hyperion. So as somebody who, I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I personally feel that I have a pretty good understanding of Chronos and Hyperion because I've played on both since they came out. You know what I mean? I understand how the communities are. I understand back in the day that Chronos was really dead. Like Chronos was dead from like 2017 to almost 2020, where the game was just had even less players like this. It was looking like Aurora. You know, no shade, but it was looking like Aurora, low key. You know, over the years, over COVID and all that stuff, the server grew a lot. The game got better, got more channels, kept growing. So I feel that the same thing is going to happen to Hyperion over time. You know, 1 year into Chronos, it also didn't have a massive player base. It took a long time for Chronos to get to this point. And I think over time, Hyperion will get more and more players. And I don't think it'll ever reach the point that Chronos is. But I do think it'll have a lot of players at some point. And it'll be hard to distinguish the two servers from each other way into the future. That's just my opinion. Some people think that Hyperion Hyperion is just going to get merged into Chronos within the next year. And if that happens, it is what it is. But I think over time, it'll just keep growing. Now, is the server dead? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can still find any party that you want. You can find any guild that you want. You can make friends, all that stuff. The only thing that's less in Hyperion is you won't see as many people AFK. Like if you walk in a random town, you're not going to see as many people just AFK in the town. So if that's something you care about, then of course play on Chronos. I've always said since day one, you could actually go back on my YouTube and see, since before Hyperion even came out, I made a video saying like, should people from Chronos move to Hyperion? And my conclusion was overall no. The reason why my conclusion was overall no was because most people probably already have a bunch of stuff on Chronos and all of their friends are already on Chronos. So why would you get rid of all your stuff and get rid of all your friends to play on a new server? For me, I think playing with friends is the most important thing in this game. And the reason I moved is because my friends were all willing to move too. So it made it a lot easier to move, right? But if I suggested the idea to my friends, they're like, nah, fuck that. Like, I don't want to restart, then I wouldn't have left. It's really just that simple. But for new players, I think Hyperion is better because there aren't as many people. Now, during peak times in Chronos, sometimes it could be hard to get a map, and Chronos is laggier than Hyperion. You guys might not want to believe it, but I've played on both servers. Whenever I log into Chronos, it literally is laggier. It is what it is. That's not like diss or throwing shade. Like, it's just a fact. So in my opinion, I think if you're a brand new server, you have no friends, there's no like allegiances to anything, you should just play on Hyperion because you can still make friends. There's less people, so higher chance of you getting a map. Also means higher chance of getting burning, so your progression is a little bit faster in Hyperion as well. Now let's talk about whether or not I regret moving to Hyperion, because let's be honest here, I'm gonna put everything on the table here, guys. Like, you know, I'm being fully transparent here. If I were to keep playing on Chronos, if I never went to Hyperion, my progression would be way further, right? You could think of it like this. I have this hideout here at level 279, right? It would have been 280 by the time New Age came out. New Age patches when Hyperion came out. So essentially, I would have started at a level 280 hideout with 6.6k Legion and a couple boss mules. And then that would be the start point, and then 1 year of progression after that, right? But since I restarted on Hyperion, I had absolutely nothing, and then 1 year of progression after that, right? So obviously my progression on Chronos would be way higher. I'd probably be over 290, fully maxed out boss mules, my gear would be better, all that stuff, right? So that's true. That is definitely true. And if that's the only thing I cared about, my progression, then I would have stayed on Chronos, right? The other thing is content. There's more people on Chronos. So there's probably a higher likelihood of being able to make content with people because you're all on the same server, right? So in terms of like YouTube, Twitch streaming, all that stuff, probably better to be on Chronos just because there's more people there naturally. That is all true. I'm not denying that. That's all true. People have tried convincing me of this, like it's some groundbreaking discovery they made. And I'm like, guys, I already know this. But at the end of the day, I moved to Hyperion to play with my friends, and I've built a beautiful guild, beautiful community. I have a lot of nice friends that I don't want to leave, right? I like playing with them. So no, I don't regret going to Hyperion at all. I am still very fortunate and blessed to be able to make content even on Hyperion, even if there's less people in the sphere of Hyperion, right? I'm still able to do it. And at the end of the day, worst case scenario, let's say all my friends quit, people don't want to be part of the guild anymore, I always just go back to Chronos. It's not a big deal, right? I guess the answer is no. I don't regret going to Hyperion. Even though those other things might be true, I don't regret it because for me, I like the community I built, and that's the most important thing for me to enjoy this game. And another thing, as a little bit of a side note, is personally, I don't really see that difference between Chronos and Hyperion in terms of like content, right? I'm sure a lot of people watching this video don't even know I play on Hyperion. They probably just think, oh, he plays Reboot, right? Or maybe they just assume I'm on Chronos, because at the end of the day, there's no difference between the games at all, right? Maybe I'm just ranting a little bit now. Maybe you guys could help me understand. Sometimes I've heard some feedback, from some friends or some people in the community that's like, oh, I don't really like watching you anymore because you play on Hyperion and I can't really relate to you as much, and I can't really like AFK in your map or anything like that, so it just doesn't feel the same. Now, of course, everyone's entitled to feel however they feel, but for me, I personally just don't understand that, because Chronos and Hyperion are the exact same game. It's not like I'm playing on Interactive World. It's the exact same game. I'm still farming in the map, doing the same bosses, upgrading my gear the exact same way. It's all the same. So for me, I don't really understand that point, but like maybe I just don't get it, you know what I mean? I also find it kind of funny when people say like, oh, we miss you on Chronos, and it's like those same people, I never even played with them. It's like we never bossed together, we were never guildies, we never talked, we never had each other on BL, and it's like, you miss me, like what do you miss? I'm still here. Like it's the exact same thing whether I'm training in Hyperion or training Chronos. I'm still training. It's all the same. I don't know. Maybe I'm not as empathetic, but like genuinely, maybe you guys could help me understand that logic, because to me it doesn't make sense. I feel like at the end of the day, the YouTube videos are all the same, whether I'm on Chronos or Hyperion, and the stream is the same, whether I'm on Chronos or Hyperion. It's like, it's all just me training and bossing. So I don't know. All good though. Anyways, let's talk about what we've managed to accomplish in the last year and maybe some mistakes I made along the way. So as you can see here, I have my main, Hayato, at level 287, right? What are some things that I would consider mistakes on my main? I would say it really just boils down to 3 things. The first one is spending mesos off event, right? So there's been a lot of times where I get like a pitch drop and I just Star Force it on the spot and it booms. Or even if it hits 22, you know, could have been cheaper on event. You know, that's a mistake that I could have prevented and I could have not done. But like, come on now, like we got to get some content. Like if you get something, like probably should tap it just because it's fun, right? So whatever. The other thing is I could have played more. Right? I have my peers. Some of them are level 290 already. I'm only 287. But at the end of the day, like I play as much as I'm able to, right? I have other things that I like to do in my life. I have YouTube videos that I have to make and manage and all that stuff. I have to edit my videos, like just a lot of different stuff I have to do. So I can't just grind all day, but maybe I could have grinded more if I really tried, but I'm satisfied with where I'm at for now. And then the last thing is maybe I spent a little bit too much time on mules, because I have a lot of different like high level mules for no reason, like to be honest with you. And some of them I don't even really play on them that much. But I just like mules. Like that's just the way I like to play the game. I like having different characters that have different NX and different almost personalities in a way. And I just enjoy the game that way. So some people will tell you like, you got to just keep training your main. That's the most efficient way to get to endgame. Leveling is the most important thing. And that's true. Leveling is the most important thing for endgame. But in terms of my personal enjoyment for the game, I like having mules. I like dressing them up. I like thinking of funny names for them and all that stuff. Like I like doing that. And I personally feel that it makes me a much more well-rounded player, because I know how to gear up characters from scratch. I know how to play a bunch of different classes and talk about them and give advice on all these different parts of the game. So for me, I think it works out. Let's talk about my boss mules real quick. So I have my Nightwalker, level 220, right? I have my FP, which I made a whole video about. This is probably my best boss mule. My IL, my Mercedes, my AB, my Adele. I don't really use my Adele that much. My Lynn, my Shad, my Night Lord, which is pretty strong. My Demon Slayer, my Lara, which we will be getting a video somewhat soon about the Lara solo boss progression, if anybody's wondering. But like since last video till today, nothing's really changed. Like I've just been doing dailies, and because of the dailies, I've been leveling up. So the gear is like exactly the same. It's just I've been doing dailies. So that's why I feel like I haven't been able to do a video on it, because I just haven't been able to do any progress on it. I've just been saving for events and stuff. I have my CM, which we'll talk about in a bit. I have my Blaster, my Hero, my Kali, my Arc, my Evan, Wild Hunter, Ho Young, Shade, which is going to be my Hyperburn, Bishop, Blade Master, and Corsair. So these 2 pages of characters are characters that I'm personally interested in. Like these classes are classes that I'm interested in, and I'll probably play them in the future. Now, some of you that are pretty experienced will probably ask like, why do you have so many boss mules? You can't even sell all the crystals anyways. Now that's true. That's completely true. I can't sell all the crystals anyways. But for me, like I said, I like playing a bunch of different classes, and sometimes I'm probably not going to want to do bosses on whatever character. Like, let's say I don't want to do my IL. Okay, well, I feel like playing Kali this week or something, right? Like, I have the resources to make these characters. It's super cheap. It's all just boils down to nodes, so why not? That's just what I do. That's how I do it. And then the rest is just a bunch of mules for Legion, right? Now, are there any boss mules that I regret making and I caused me misery? Yes, there are some boss mules that caused me a lot of misery and I regret making. One of them being my Ice Lightning. Now, the Ice Lightning is like a viewer favorite. Like they really like her in X and stuff like that, and I really like her in X too. But playing this class is actually so miserable for me. I don't know what it is. I feel like I do no damage, and they're all funded the same. They're all about 5 to 6 mil CP, and they have max nodes. So for example, all of my mules, let's just choose like, I don't know, my Mercedes. They're all like this. I'm sure some of you will be like, oh, what's the gear on the mules and stuff like that? Like, I'll show you. This is what my mules look like. They're all between 5 to 6 mil CP, and they all have essentially unique or epic 1 to 2 line gear, right? So it's all unique 1 to 2 line. They have the boss accessory set. Some of them have Absolab set like this one, usually a CRA weapon, and then all the star forcing is like 16 star stuff. Certain classes, they need like legendary on key items. So like Merc has legendary hat because it makes comboing easier. Legendary on the gloves for crit damage. Now my Merc got super lucky with this 12, 12, 30. This isn't normal, but it's usually just 2 lines, like 12, 30 or 39 or something like that. Like this is 1230, this is 99 with damage. So all of their gear is something like this, and they have max nodes. So you can see it's like 25, 25, 25 on the important skills. Obviously this isn't 25, but it's not too important. And then the boost nodes 24 or 25, right? So that's what I mean by max nodes, is like max boost nodes, and then max on the skill nodes that really matter. And then bind, just get it to level 10. So I got a 3-minute bind cooldown, and that's it. And then any supporting skills like a vicious shot slash last resort or a goddess skill, I got them between like 10 to 15. So the nodes are really good. I usually spend around 1k to 1.5k nodes on each mule. Some mules like my fire poison, I probably drop like 3k nodes on it. But they're all something like this, right? And they're all able to do low min in less than 30 minutes easily, no problem at all. The reason I mentioned that is because even though they're all the same amount of funding, some of them clear bosses way faster than the others. Like the IL is like the slowest one. It'll take 30 to like 35 minutes to clear all the bosses. Whereas my AB does it so much faster, like way faster. It's not even close. If you guys want like a boss mule tier list or something like that, definitely let me know, especially with the upcoming winter patch with all the changes and stuff like that, the balance patch changes, let me know and I'll get on that. But yeah, IL is one of them that I'm like, yo, this shit is ass. Another one that was asked to play is Cannon Master. Now, the thing with this Cannon Master is I have to get it to 260. It's something that I'm still working on. And it's going to be basically as strong as my FP, which is like pretty strong, like able to do C10. But man, is this thing miserable to train. Like guys, if there's one class that I would say like just don't ever train, it would be Blaster and CM. Like these two, like guys, like these two are so annoying to train under 260. I don't know if it's just me, but I hate the hitbox on Cannon Bazooka. It has no vertical hitbox at all, and it's so frustrating. It's the worst thing ever. I trained this character to 243 and it made me burn out. Like guys, I stopped playing the game for 2 weeks and I started playing Final Fantasy 16 and Black Myth Wukong, and I beat both of those games. Like that's how hard it fucking burned me out playing this game, playing this stupid ass CM. So yeah, those are the two classes that I'm like, man, like these two are not good. Now, on the other hand, what are some classes that were better than I thought? Lyn, definitely. So Lyn is like kind of like a new class, but when I started playing it, and especially as a boss mule, man, this thing is broken as hell as a boss mule. Its consistent damage is so high. And same with Fire Poison. Like Fire Poison, once you get it set up, you have a cooldown hat, you're a little stronger. It's super good. But early game FP is not that good. All right, so let's check out my main and see where I'm at in my main. And let's talk about some future plans for my account. So this is my main Hayato. I main Hayato because of Hui, to be honest with you, if you know who that is. He's a Hayato on Chronos named 0x4f6e65. And when Hyperion first started, I actually wasn't going to play Hayato because on Chronos, as you saw earlier in the video, I played Hayato there, and I've been playing Hayato since 2015. So from 2015 to 2023, I've been a Hayato main. And I'm like, all right, Hyperion, like, this is my chance to correct my ways and play something giga OP like Nightwalker or Demon Slayer or something, right? Or I could just TP farm and be brain dead. Well, because Hui, who never types in my chat, in my Twitch chat, he was like, please, like, you have to do it. No one else can represent Hayato. You're the only one that could do it. Here I am, playing Hayato. Because of that, literally just because of that. But also, like, I'm not trying to make it sound like I hate playing this class. It's a love-hate relationship. Like, there is no class that I love more than Hayato. The most passionate about this class. I've made countless videos on it, guides. I made the Hayato Discord, all that stuff. Like, this is my favorite class by far, like straight up. But I also hate it so much because it's non-KMS and there's so many bugs that make this class miserable to play. But next patch is getting a really nice buff, so it's gonna make me really happy. But anyways, here's my Hayato. I am at 242 mil CP. If I turn on my FAMs, I am at 272 mil CP. So 272 mil CP with FAMs, 242 mil without FAMs. You might ask, what are your FAMs? Now, this is something new that you haven't seen on YouTube before, but I actually got really lucky with these blue cards. They actually blessed me. The money was worth it. The pay to win. I happened to get 6% attack with 20 IED on this, 30% boss on this, and 20% boss on this. The only one that I farmed for was this one. These two were from blue cards, and I got this one pretty lucky, like pretty early, maybe within like 20 epic fams or something. I got a 30 boss. So honestly, I'm chilling. If you're wondering what this is about 70 boss and 20 IED in terms of my fams. So I'm chilling. I'm calling it there. Training to 290, not thinking about fams. Boom. I'm perfectly happy with this for now. Now let's talk about my gear and what could be improved, right? So if we open my stat tab, I'm sitting at 67k stat. I finished my inner ability, which is really good. Now you might say like, oh, why not get 20% boss? Maybe in the future when I get a bunch of more honor, but 38 buff, 8% abnormal, 19 boss. Pretty good to me. My current goal is to hit 290. So I've just been training. That's all I do on my main is I just train it and do my weekly bosses. So in terms of gear, I'm rocking these like shitter totems, but whatever. I have a slime ring at 22. I will 23 star this eventually. I'm stacking a bunch of slime rings just to 23 star it, and need to fix the pot. You'll notice that I need to fix a lot of my pots and flames because I actually think I went about it a pretty smart way. I didn't spend really that much on pots and flames at all. In terms of flames, I spent maybe probably less than 30 bill total in the last year on flames, or maybe even less than 20 bill because I've just been using free flames. So almost all the flames I have are just free flames from events. So I've managed to save so much money along the way because of that. This is at 22, 30%, 22, 30%. Not going to bother with this. 22, 27%. Need to fix it. I have a Roar 4, Comp 4, Totaling 4, Crisis HM 4, Weapon Jump 4. I have the Health Cut Ring and the Limit Ring to proc Crisis if that ever becomes viable in some way. So I have all the rings that I need. Risk Taker 3, not a 4, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. I have a bunch of ring boxes, so I mean, if it really matters, then I'll try to get it. Cup, I mean, it's some dog shit ass flame, 36 and 6, but let's be honest here, we're going to get a book eventually. Copium. 22 sub pendant, 24 and 2, could be better flame. Need to fix the pot, of course. Source of suffering, need to fix the flame. Flame is okay, but obviously I want better than that. It's at 22. I'm at 3 set pitch so far, and we'll actually talk about my pitch in a little bit. The pot is good. My weapon, the weapon has a really good flame, tier 7 with 12 boss, but I do want 3-line attack on this, so we're saving money to get that. 22 star on the belt. It is double primed, which is really good. The flame isn't bad, but it could be better. 22 star on the Eternal Hat. Not really a good flame. Need to fix the pot. 22 star on the Berserk. Need to fix the flame and pot, of course. Sweetwater Monocle, not transposed, so this is just a raw dog Sweetwater Monocle. 58 flame and 3-line. I mean, I'm just going to keep this until I get Magic Eye Patch. Now, what's really cool about Sweetwater Monocle is, of course, you can just use a black bean mark for the time being, right? You could just use a 20-star black bean mark, and you could perfectly settle on this until you hit a Magic Eye Patch, and that would be perfectly okay. But if you look at the attack difference from black bean mark and monocle, the black bean mark has 46 attack on it, right? At 20 stars and 84 stat. So 84 stat, 46 attack. But the monocle has 141 stat. I'm not counting flames, by the way, and 92 attack. So it has double the attack and more stat. And it could get 13, 10, 10 pot instead of 12, 9, 9 because it's a level 160 item. So the damage gains on a monocle is actually pretty good. So if you want to go from bean mark to monocle and then patch, that's perfectly okay. But if you want to stay on bean mark and not want to not do commercy at all, then that's also okay. But I'm just trying to get as much damage as possible. So I decided to get a monocle. Now, you might cringe at these, but my Eternals top and bottom are at 18. Reason for that is because we wanted to do as much damage as possible for Kalos and X-Lotus, so just squeezed out a little bit more damage versus my CRA. It's a pretty good upgrade from CRA at 18, but the flame and pot on these are like dog shit. I didn't really invest too much into them so far because there's a cube sale and big Starforce event coming up at the end of November, and we're going to be tapping a bunch of Eternal pieces. I have these two, and I'm going to have like 5 total on Shining Starforce to tap. So if you're not coming to the stream for that, you're missing out. You're missing out on some crazy Eternal tapping. My arcanes are all at 22, so this is 85 and 6, could be a better flame. Gotta fix the pot. 8, 8, 7, I'm just gonna leave it. Flame is fine too. I'm just gonna leave this until Eternal Glove. 96 and 6, this is fine too. Just gotta fix the pot. Shoulder, also gotta fix the pot. And then 22 star sup earring. Flame could be better. Pot's fine. Don't really want to invest in this because I have 22 star CFE as well. So there's a timeline where I could switch to this, and I do have 3 lucid belts. So if I were to 22 this, it is possible that I might be able to switch to 5 set pitch. I also have black hearts in the back, so I could get 6 set pitch to make it viable. But once Shining Starforce comes around, we're going to tap our belts and try our best to hit, because if we hit the belt, we could just go from 3 set to 6 set. So that would be a pretty massive increase in damage. Secondary is 12, 9, 30, Monster Bark Metal, and then Saren Emblem is 13, 10, 10. 3-line attack, so that's pretty good. Now, a lot of you guys who are really interested in like hyper endgame content, you might ask like, are you gonna double prime your gear? Now, this is something that I'm debating myself. Now, I understand that double priming is cool and like it makes you stronger and it's like this super endgame thing that like all the giga endgamers are doing. But I'm really just debating if I want to go about it anytime soon or not. To be quite honest, I kind of don't want to. I just want to get like standard 3-line across all my gear, finish all the flames, and that alone would be super strong. The reason why I kind of don't want to double prime is I double primed way back in the day. Way back in the day on my original hideout. And that is not a fun process. Like it takes so long to cube stuff. It's so expensive. It takes like forever. So, and then you don't hit. So I'm like, I kind of don't want to go down that path again, at least anytime soon. I would rather finish all my gear with like clean 3 lines, clean flames, all that stuff, and then fund other characters on my account, like my FP, my Nightlord, my Lara, all that stuff. And then in the far future, go back and double prime on my Hayato. Because to me, because I like playing other characters a lot, I would rather use that money that I would have used double priming on those other characters, because double priming all your gear is like trillions of mesos, guys. Like, you can get so many characters to endgame with that money. So I would rather do that. I would rather have multiple endgame characters instead of just one super hyper giga god character. I think it also gives more content too. You could do different bosses on different characters. Let me know what you guys think about double priming. So in terms of my covert, I am at 64k covert. If we look at this, I have 64.3. So that's the highest covert I got so far. I think I could get a little bit higher if I just tried more, but that's just the most I've gotten so far. My Legion is at 9.1k. So this is the Legion board that I run. And this is what my artifact looks like. You can see on the bottom right here. 47 artifact. This is my Hexa. Now my Hexa, I've just been trying to max Soul Genis because I'm training a lot, right? But once I max Soul Genis, I'm actually going to start being able to get stronger, because I still don't have max Hexa. Shinsoku, Phantom Blade, and Insta Slice, once these are maxed out, it's a pretty significant amount of damage, like 3 of these skills. Now, a lot of Hayatos might tell you like, oh, they do nothing, but all 3 of them, once they're maxed versus right now, is a significant increase in damage. So I can't wait, to be honest, because I've been putting so many frags into Soul Genis, and I just haven't been getting any stronger, because this doesn't make you stronger. It just gives you more XP. So I can't wait to actually feel like I'm getting stronger again, which is nice. And then Hexa Stat 2 is coming out. This is my Hexa Stat. Got super lucky, 839. This is super, super, super good. Like, you would never want to reroll 8 off the top. Most people have like 3 or 4 on the top. So I got super lucky with this, which is nice. Now let's talk about pitch boss, right? Some of you might have noticed I have multiple emblems and belts and boomed patches and stuff like that. Let's talk about how much pitch I've gotten within the last year of playing. Now keep in mind that I've been clearing everything as optimally as possible, right? So the moment that I was able to solo something, I would solo it with max drop. So I've been clearing everything as optimal as you can on a brand new server. Now obviously within the first like maybe month or so, I wasn't able to solo stuff because it's a brand new server. Within a month, like, you can't just like solo all the bosses. But keep in mind that like my progression was pretty good. It was pretty fast, faster than most of the people on the server, and I've been clearing stuff optimally. All right, so this is how much pitch I've gotten in the last year across all my characters, right? Now this is probably gonna make a lot of you guys mad as hell. Like, it's probably gonna make you guys a lot like really, really angry. So let's go over it. So on my Hayato, this left side is for the pitch that I've gotten on my Hayato itself. I've gotten 3 eye patches, 2 berserks, 2 source of sufferings, 2 ETs, 4 black hearts, 3 dreaming belts, 2 CFEs, 4 emblems, no books, no badge, no total control. So in total, I've gotten 22 pitch within the last year on my main, which makes it so that I get a pitch every like 2 to 3 weeks, basically. In the last year, every 2 to 3 weeks, I see something, which honestly, I ain't even that lucky, guys. I ain't even that lucky. Now, let me explain something to you guys. I know some of you guys are going to get really mad, but hear me out. 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 Hear me out, guys. At the end of all of this, I have CFE at 22. I have Zerk at 22. And I have Source at 22. And then I have an emblem, right? I have 4 set that is usable. At the end of that, right? So that means I've boomed everything else. Well, we don't know about the belts yet. I could still tap those. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to say is like, think of it like I'm playing baseball, right? I keep swinging and I'm trying to hit the ball, but I keep missing. I can't get the home run. I keep missing every single time. So it's like, what's the point of like swinging and swinging and swinging? But like, I just keep missing. I keep wasting my mesos, wasting my energy, my emotions, all of my excitement. I just keep missing and missing and missing and missing and missing and missing. Bro, on the other hand, we have Gigataco 5, who's gotten like 6 drops in the last year, but he's 5 set. So like every time he gets a drop, it goes 22. Like, I may have high quantity, but I have very low quality. The other thing about pitch is I like to think of pitch as a 2-step staircase. And once you reach the top over here, you're lucky. And this is where you start. The first step is you have to get the item, right? You have to get the item. So that's the first step, right? If you don't get the item, then how can you be lucky if you don't get it in the first place? The second step is you have to 22 star it. If you don't 22 star it, then it doesn't matter if you got to the first step. You're still not at the top. You're still not at the top because you didn't 22 star it, right? You still didn't make it to the top because you didn't 22 star it. So this step is more important than this step. That's the way that I like to think about it. Maybe you guys, maybe I'm crazy. Guys, if you really just think I'm crazy and I'm full of shit, dude, tell me. Like, you know what I mean? This is the way I think about it. I think both steps are very important. And just because you get the item, it doesn't really mean anything. You kind of have to 22 start for it to really mean something. That's the way that I look at it. My Fire Poison has gotten me another 2 black hearts, and then my Night Lord has a CFE and a Zerk. The Night Lord's Zerk is at 22 though, which is really good. So in total, it's been 26 pitch items total, like across the whole account, which is kind of nuts, to be honest with you. It is kind of nuts. Like, just seeing it that many, I'm not saying it's not crazy. It is crazy to see pitch that often, and I hope that continues. Like, I hope it continues, that I keep seeing it over and over. But I don't know, man. I feel like having it not be at 22, like, stuff keeps booming. Like, all of these boomed, and then I have none of these. I don't know. It sucks. It still sucks, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm grateful. Maybe I'm just crazy, and I should just say I'm grateful that I've gotten the reset, and I should be happy, and I should shut up. Anyway, so what are my plans for the Hayato moving forward? I'm just saving a lot of money right now. I plan on saving around 300 bill, 250 to 300 bill by the time Cube Sale comes out. I have my money somewhere else, but I have like 200 bill right now, and then fixing all of these 3 lines. So that's my plan, basically, is fixing all of these 3 lines, and then once Shining Star Force rolls around, tap all the Eternals I need to tap, and pray that at least one of them goes to 22. That's my goal. Like, just either top or bottom, go to 22. Like, just one of them, please. Like, the likelihood is pretty high. I have 5 spares total, but I don't know. Who knows? What if I don't hit? I also created this notepad of how much everything will cost. You guys could probably pause the video and see, but basically I broke it down to star forcing costs and cubing costs for all of the gear. So if I want to 22 star an Eternal piece on Shining, it would be a median of 30 bill and an average of 41.8. That's for each Eternal. So these things are so expensive. Then Lucid Belt would be anywhere between 15 to 20 bill on average. And then to 3-line all of my gear, so this is all of the gear that I have to 3-line, including my weapon. With the 25% off from Cube Sale, it would be a median of 72.9 bill and an average of 105 bill. So I feel pretty confident about 3-lining all my gear. Like, I have the money to do it. Even if I hit a little over average, like, there's no way I go double average, right? There's no way. And then my Lara, which is going to be essentially my second main, this is what I plan on doing on it in terms of star forcing. So these are all the things I plan to star force, a bunch of 21s, 17s, just to get the ball rolling on the Lara. I'm not going for anything crazy so far. It would cost for about 40 bill to 55 bill, assuming median and average on Shining Star Force. And then for the cubing, that's really important because it's going to be kind of like a second main. I need to get a bunch of fragments on it. And if I want a bunch of fragments, it means I need really, really good drop gear. So if I want to get the drop gear with 25% off, this is like full maxed out drop gear, it would cost 16.8 bill on the median on Cube Sale, and then 24.45 on average during Cube Sale. And then my Night Lord, because my Night Lord has lib quests that are coming up and it's not quite strong enough to do them all super comfortably, I plan on getting this stuff just to help my Night Lord out a bit during Shining Star Force. So it would cost a median of 17.2 and an average of 23.8. So all of this total combined is probably like around like 250 bill. So if I have like 250 bill to 300 bill by the end of this month, then I'll feel pretty confident in the gains that I'm going to be making. Obviously, all of this is on stream. So if you're not pulling up to the stream, you're going to be missing out on all of this. It'll probably be in a fresh account progression as well. But yeah, you definitely don't want to miss out and not know what happens. So that's my plans for the upcoming events. I mean, that's about it for this video. 1 year of progression so far. I feel like we did pretty good. You guys let me know if I don't know, maybe my progression is ass and like I should be 290 by now, or maybe I'm way ahead of what other people have done. Who knows? I think I'm pretty happy with where my progression is. I'm very happy with where my YouTube and my Twitch channel is. Again, just to be fully transparent with you guys, my priority is my YouTube and my Twitch channel, right? Like, that's the main focus, is I want to help you guys enjoy this game and I want to create content about the game. That's my biggest priority. So maybe some people that are watching this that are like giga end game efficient, the reason I keep bringing that up is because I used to be that way myself back in the day when I was like a newer end gamer. I used to be all about efficiency, right? Maybe some of you see this and are like, man, you're not 290, why did you spend so much time on mules? And you're like, whatever, right? For me, I'm a content creator. This is the shoes that I've decided to wear, and this is the way I want to keep playing this game. So the people that watch me, they love when I play my Night Lord and my FP and stuff like that, even if they're not 100% efficient in terms of my progression. I'm having a good time. I hope you guys have had a really good time with the last year of progressing on this account. And then obviously, if you have any questions, leave a comment. I do read every single comment. Even if you want to ask maybe a little bit more of a personal-ish question, not too personal, obviously, you know, I'm willing to answer in this video, because the last year I would be nothing without you guys. You guys have shown me so much support. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers, bro. I think a year ago, I started at like maybe 6 to 8K subs or something like that. We've grown so much since then, and I'm always forever grateful. And let's keep going. Like, we have the winter patch coming up, and I look forward to another year of progression. With that all being said, though, if you enjoyed this video, maybe consider helping me out by subscribing, commenting whatever you want or anything like that. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Pull up to the Twitch again, please pull up. It's so good when you see everything live. And with that all being said, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much to my members, Blazefire, Shooms, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Pico Near, Skittles, Dante Victory, CK, Jay, Blunt Poppy Supreme Oil Backwards, and Uju. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you to everybody who submitted fan art. It is so wonderful to see. If you ever want to submit anything, there's a fan art channel in my Discord. And thank you guys so much for watching.